Standing Order 75-1A of the Senate Standing Orders, the Speaker of the Senate is required within 7 days after receiving notice of a resolution from the Speaker of a County Assembly to convene a meeting of the Senate to hear charges against the Governor. 5. Consequently, Honorable Senators, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Government Act and Standing Order 75-1A of the Senate Standing Orders, I hereby proceed to read the charges against the Governor of Kirinyaga County. A. Gross violation of the Constitution. The particulars cited under this ground are as follows. A. Failing to deliver the annual State of the County address to the County Assembly. B. Undermining the authority of the County Assembly. C. Violations under written law, including violation of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 and the Public Finance and Management Act 2012. And D. Violation of Article 201A, D and E, and Article 2271 of the Constitution. B. Abuse of office and gross misconduct. The particulars cited under this ground are as follows. A. Violation of Section 46 of the Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act 2015. B. Violation of Article 201A, D and E, and Article 2271 of the Constitution. C. Impropriety conferring a benefit to herself. D. Violation of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Act 2011. And E. Violation of the right to health of the people of Kirinyaga County. Take your seat. Honorable Senators, 6. In terms of the way forward, following the reading of the charges against the Governor, Standing Order 75-1B of the Senate Standing Orders gives the Senate two options on how to proceed with the matter. The Senate may, A, by resolution, appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter, or B, investigate the matter in plenary. 7. The Senate Majority Leader shall shortly be giving notice of a motion for the establishment of a special committee. Should the motion for the establishment of a special committee eventually pass, the special committee will be required under Section 33(4) of the County Government Act and Standing Order 75-2 of the Senate Standing Orders to investigate the matter and report to the Senate on whether it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. Honorable Senators, it's not worth, and I wish to emphasize to all honorable senators that when we come to the debate on the motion to establish the special committee, debate on the motion shall be limited to the substance of the motion, namely, whether or not to establish the special committee. It will not be a debate on the substance of the impeachment or its merits, propriety, prudence, or even the constitutionality or the legality of the processes that have preceded the submission of this matter to the Senate. It is therefore not permissible to deviate to any matters other than the motion before the Senate. However, should the motion for the establishment of a special committee not pass, the Senate shall proceed to investigate and consider the matter in plenary. In that event, I will appoint dates on which the Senate will sit in plenary to hear and dispose of the matter. Ten, honorable senators, the hearing of charges for the proposed removal from office of governor is one of the most important functions of the Senate under the Constitution. In undertaking this mandate, the Senate will be sitting as a quasi-judicial body and will conduct investigations into disputed claims and alleged infraction of the Constitution and the law, and will thereafter make its determination. In this regard, it shall be out of order within the meaning of Standing Order number 117 for any senator to make comments, whether written or spoken, in relation to the conduct of the governor or the impeachment process outside the confines of the impeachment proceedings, as such comments may prejudice the just outcome of the process. I conclude by urging all senators to exercise the highest level of responsibility on this matter. I thank you. What's your point of order, Senator Ledama?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise a point of order in reactions to your communication. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've listened to the charges which are read out there, and I want to refer you to Article 179 of the Constitution of Kenya. This is a matter which is quite weighty, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 179(1) says that the executive authority of the county is vested in and exercised by a county executive committee. And then 2, it says the county executive committee consists of the county governor and the deputy governor, and B, members appointed by the county governor with the approval of the assembly from among members who are not members of the assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a matter that I would like you to give a ruling on. Because when you read the charges of the governor, I did not hear the other executive committee members being referred to in the charges that have been forwarded by the county government of Kirinyaga. The reason why I raise this standing order is because this is a matter that the Constitution has spelled out clearly in the issue that concerns me.
Honorable Senator, I think it's a bit premature.
It is not.
It's premature, actually,
Why?
because the notice has not even been given. This is just a communication from the chair.
But, Mr. Speaker, sir, if you just allow me to prosecute my issue, it has to do with your communication and the content of your communication, Mr. Speaker, sir, because you said if we go further and raise issues, they'll be out of order. I've listened to your communication very clearly, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm saying, before we get to that length, can we then look at your communication, the letters that have been sent?
No. You are out of order, Senator
Why?
Ledama. The notice has not even been given. I think you are giving your comments prematurely. Wait until that time, then you will raise those issues. Senator Linturi and then Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I was very keen listening to you when you are doing your communication. And I've got your directions. They're quite clear in my mind. And because I would not want to offend this communication in any way, is the reason why I want to further seek guidance and direction on this matter, because if we were to faithfully follow what you've directed, it appears then we'll come to a time when we will be required to take certain positions as this House, either for or against. Now, the question, Mr. Speaker, that I want you to clarify on is, Mr. Speaker, in the recent past, a number of issues have been brought to this committee, or this House. They've been canvassed. And at the end of the day, because I have all personally thought that the independence of this House is so crucial, and that's why the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act was enacted to give immunity to debaters here, so that when as you debate national issues, you do not have to turn back your neck to see or ask who is watching, Mr. Speaker. And with a lot of respect, ask you to ask the whips or the majority leaders, the majority and the minority leader, to come out clearly and guide this House, Mr. Speaker, on whether the matter that is coming before this committee, so that we know how to take positions, whether there are certain political party matters or positions that have been taken, because some of us do not want to be disciplined, some of us do not want to be told that we have defined our party leader. We do not want to be told that a certain political member of a political party has
Senator
to
Linturi,
listen to the boss. So, Mr. Speaker, within your kindly let us get guidance from our party bosses within the House here, so that we know how to really manage ourselves, so that we do not appear to be out of order, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Thank you.
Order. There was the Senator, then I'll come. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise on a point of order. Following the protocol from the Ministry of Health and the 1.5 meter distance, I feel exposed, Mr. Speaker, because my neighbor is too close. And I think the seats, all seats are designated and written seat here. So there are members who are seated haphazardly. Please, Mr. Speaker, I need guidance because I'm exposed and I'm really scared.
What's your point of order, Senator Murkomen? I'll respond to that, Senator Omanga.
Mr. Speaker, just on the same point of order raised by Senator Linturi, it's very serious, Mr. Speaker. 4 members, actually rather 5 members of the Jubilee side where I lead, Mr. Speaker, were taken for disciplinary process for decisions that were made in this House. Mr. Speaker, we live in unprecedented time. In my all 8 years in the Senate, no senator has been punished for exercising their democratic right, Mr. Speaker, in whatever they do. In fact, it is the standing orders that gives the powers and privileges of a member of parliament that protects them for whatever they say in these chambers, Mr. Speaker. A deputy speaker was removed in this House for rulings that he made in this House. So, Mr. Speaker, a number of our colleagues have been sent SMSs all over the weekend. They have been intimidated because they are nominated. And they have been asked, Mr. Speaker, I will name them. I will name them, Mr. Speaker, if necessary.
Okay.
And Mr. Speaker, can I complete what I'm raising?
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, I'm on a point of order.
Okay, so on a point of order.
I'm on a point of order.
Just conclude, and then I'll respond to you.
So, Mr. Speaker, we do not want another charade to ensue after this very important debate on a matter of impeachment of a governor, where senators are going to be written letters to be de-whipped from committees. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you for a matter of fact, the chairman of finance, Senator Mahmood, has been removed from his position as chairman of finance because of his stand on people of Northeastern on matters of finance and the formula.
Order, Senator,
Mr. Speaker, we must,
Senator Murkomen,
Mr. Speaker,
order, Senator.
If we are going to get to that direction,
order, Senator. Order,
Senator.
Senator.
To go to that direction.
Order, Senator.
You must give direction
Order, Senator.
as to what exactly a senator can say and cannot say in this.
Order, Senator. What's your point of order, Senator Ochila Yako? Oh, Senator Kajwang, sorry, then Ochila Yako.
Mr. Speaker, I must say I've got some experience in disrupting the business of the House. I have filibustered, I've blown whistles, I've made noise and all sorts of things. Today, the nation is looking at Senate and seeking to find whether Senate is still living up to its expectation of defending counties and their governments. Mr. Speaker, I realize why certain political parties in this republic need a parliamentary group meeting, because what some of their members are trying to prosecute on the floor of this House are issues that should be dealt with in parliamentary group meetings and caucuses. So I just want to encourage, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, not to take this House for a ride. And indeed, those who say that this House is dead. Mr. Speaker, I can say that they presided over the death of this House. They should not be here to bury the House. Mr. Speaker, the elders say that it is only a foolish fly that follows a carcass to the grave. If this House is dead, then get off the skin of that carcass. Mr. Speaker, would I be in order to request that we go back to the substantive issues? Because I think Senator Lekina raised more substantive issues than the others that should be sorted out in political party caucuses.
Okay, order members. Senator Achilo Yako, then we...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in our standing orders, it's very clear that we are not allowed to raise frivolous or irrelevant points of order. Mr. Speaker, if you allow persistent interjections from anybody, any of us, in the guise of a point of order, we'll not get to the gist of this matter. So I want to implore you, Mr. Speaker, to strictly enforce the standing orders that will allow us to, in a very orderly fashion,